Our guest on 27 Topics at this time is Mary Roberson, Superintendent of Perry Central School Corporation. Mary, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Paul. It's great to be here.
As we prepare for another school year, and you down there in Perry, Perry County, have probably a few issues and things that are a little different from the norm.
Right. We're really excited to kick off the year, and we think we have some new things going, but it's true. We are a little different from maybe the rest of southern Indiana because of our rural community.
And you basically serve pretty well all of rural Perry.
All of rural Perry County, everything except Troy Township.
That is really something. Large county too.
Right. We're almost 400 square miles.
So, and school starts on August the 12th.
Right.
And have you got those buses ready to roll?
We had a great summer with our buses. Our bus mechanic did a super job. They're all ready to go. And the summer crew has done a fantastic job getting the buildings ready. We did all the cleaning that's kind of typical, as well as updating some of the classrooms that needed some updates with carpet and lighting. We're always trying to move towards more energy efficient lighting, and so each summer we take several classrooms and move them along that way. So we feel like we have the building looking good and ready for students.
With the buses and serving the large rural area, how are you coping with the increased cost of fuel?
It's obviously a big issue, and we're cognizant of it on two levels. One is because of our budget, and we know that it's a drain to our transportation budget, and we're very concerned about that. But we're also concerned about families, because we know that families have a greater burden during this time with transportation of their students from extracurricular and other school activities. So we're trying to be mindful of how we can be helpful to parents. One of the things that we have done this summer is we've worked with bus rerouting, and we've taken our 20 routes and moved them to 18. So we know that there are going to be some bugs to work out, and we're hoping that families will be patient with us as we work those out. But we feel like it's something that we need to be as efficient as we possibly can be in order to cut costs at this time. Even some of the smallest things make a difference, and if students are ready to hop on the bus and the bus doesn't have to idle extra time, all of those things make a difference. And we know that there are a few students who are going to be on the bus a little bit longer than they were in the past, and some students will be on shorter, just because when there's change, that happens. And we just hope that families will understand the situation that we're under with the fuel costs and be understanding.
Now, with Perry Central School being in a rural area, you think that there may be more students riding the bus?
That we think that could be a big issue. We look for our student parking lot to be not quite as full, and maybe the buses to be a little more full, and that's one reason why we think we've moved to the 18 routes, but we may end up needing to add one depending on the ridership. Yeah, so those are all things that are going to have to be flexible as we see how the year progresses.
You know how many students are on a route, but you don't really know how many, until school starts, are going to use the bus.
Exactly. That's very true.
And of course, then there may be some kids who in the past drove every day that may just drive when they have a
need to because of extracurricular. That's right.
Has there been any discussion on possibly combining or something some of the extracurricular activities?
We're always looking at ways that we can cut down the number of trips for families. So things like having as many practices right after school as we can. We're really limited on space, so that's always an issue. But we're just trying to be as creative as possible and thinking of ways that we can cut down trips for families.
I know it is an issue.
Definitely is an issue.
And how to work it out,
but we know that families are facing the same challenges with their own fuel, so we don't want to put an additional burden on them. So it's trying to juggle all of that and being understanding of families' needs as well.
Then the school has received several grants.
We're really excited about that.
And one of them, I think, is on drug testing.
The random drug testing, we're funding that through a couple of different grant sources. The major source is a huge federal grant to reduce alcohol abuse among teenagers. And that grant has several components to it, but one component is the random drug testing. And that will random drug testing for students participating in any extracurricular activity as well as those driving to school. And I think several schools in the area already have a program like this in place. And what we look at it as not a way to punish students, but as a way to get them help. That if there is a problem, we want to help catch it and get help. And the alcohol reduction grant has many other components besides the testing. It's a $200,000 a year for 3 years. So it has education components in the classroom. It has counseling components. We have 2 licensed social workers who will work through that. It has a nurse who will work with students 1 day a week. And it has after-school programming as a part of it, because we know it's important to provide positive activities for students to do as an alternative to abusing drugs or alcohol.
Do you, then you also had another grant from VH1.
That's right. That's kind of a fun thing. I think it's through VH1. They have this program called VH1 Save the Music. And the intent of the program is to bring music back to schools where the programs were cut because of economic issues. And we, unfortunately, were one of those schools that cut one of our music teachers over the last 5 years. But through this grant, we committed to bringing a music teacher back, and they committed to giving us $30,000 for instruments for an elementary band program. So we're really excited about that partnership, and we were really pleased that we received that grant from VH1. Just kind of something a little bit different and exciting.
It's very, very good. Any other grants that you have there?
We always are appreciative of our funding from the Jasper Regional Arts Commission, and we will again have a visiting artist this year thanks to their generous support. So we certainly appreciate that. And we also continue to get funding through our local Perry County Substance Abuse Committee funds ongoing drug prevention activities, and we certainly are appreciative of that, as well as funding from our community foundation.
What about any other educational things that you have going on?
We obviously, education is what it's all about, and we're always looking at ways that we can be more efficient and do a better job. I mean, we know that it's a little cliche, but if we're not moving forward, we're moving backwards, and we know that we need to be moving forward. A couple in terms of assessment, because there's this world of accountability. We know that assessment is very important, and we have 2 programs we're piloting beginning with this school year, and the goal is to make our testing programs more efficient. One is acuity testing in grades 3 through 8, which is a computer-based testing, standards-based. So we think that it's basically going to replace our benchmark assessments that were not done on the computer. This will be done on the computer. So we hope that will be more efficient for students and teachers. And then we're also doing an M-class pilot, which is similar to DIBELS, which is an assessment we'd used in the early grades, but it adds math, and the other part of it is that it's done on a Palm Pilot, which again will make it more efficient. Some of the things I'm also really pleased that we're able to offer AP Calculus and Chemistry that we've not done in the past, so that's certainly very positive to helping prepare our students for higher education to be able to offer that. We've also this year we're adding a biotechnology through Project Lead the Way with the cooperation of our vocational cooperative. We've added that, and that's a science elective for students who are interested in the medical field. We also offer the Project Lead the Way pre-engineering for students obviously interested in engineering. So we're trying to constantly be aware of what our students' future and working with them on career plans and providing the curriculum to prepare them for that. Was there one other thing? Oh, we're doing a little bit with high ability grouping that we had not done recently, and we're going to do cluster grouping with high ability. The state's changed the format for what used to be called gifted and talented. Now it's called high ability, and we are doing some cluster grouping. It's not pure ability grouping, but we will cluster some students who have, through testing, have been identified as high ability.
Is there anything else? You just have a couple of seconds here. Close out.
Well, we're excited to start the year. Our theme for the year that we use with our teachers as well as with our students and community, our theme is Imagine, Believe, and Achieve. And we are just really ready to get started and imagine the possibilities, believe in our students, and we're ready to achieve.
Mary Roberson, Superintendent of Perry Central School Corporation, thank you for being our guest at this time. And also, we extend to you and hope you have a very, very successful year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. At this time, Bob Johnson, Superintendent of the Southeast Dubois County School Corporation. Bob, it's a pleasure to have you back.
Well, thank you, Paul. It's very good to be here.
These years just keep flying by, and wonder where it went. But you had a successful school year last year, and we're looking forward to a very successful year over at Southeast this year.
And we are as well. Thank you.
What are some of the educational programs that you would like to highlight today?
Well, Paul, we have at our early elementary, we have two what I think are really wonderful programs that we are really excited about. And we've been doing this for a couple of years, but it has really been fantastic. The reception by our parents and by our staff have been really good. And that is, first of all, our regular education preschool program. We have students primarily 4 years of age. If we don't fill to our capacity, we will take some that are 3, but primarily 4-year-olds. And these students are in our program 4 days a week, half a day, and we have both morning and afternoon sessions at both Pine Ridge Elementary and Ferdinand Elementary. For a long time, we've had a special education preschool program that is partially funded through local property taxes and by the state. But this is a program that is totally funded by the parents. But we have a curriculum that has been established. We have some folks who are instructing in those areas that have early elementary education degrees, and it's been a great program. As our students move from the preschool into the kindergarten, our kindergarten teachers tell us that they can really certainly tell a difference because those students have been under a supervised curriculum as 4th graders. As we transition then into kindergarten, and that's the second of these programs that I wanted to highlight, and that is our full-day kindergarten program. We started 3 years ago a program that was fully funded by the state, by parents, and that was before the state came out with their grant to help facilitate the cost. Now this program is in place. We do get some state funding, but we still rely on some parental support for that program. And we have 98% of our kindergarten students going the full day.
That is fantastic.
It is. We feel that it's very important. In the past, parents have contributed a part of that fee. If we have parents whose children want to attend and they are free and reduced or reduced lunch, then there's less of pay that they would be contributing to this. But the program is really fantastic. We put our academic stress on that kindergarten program is in the morning, so that those 2 or 3 students who don't go full day will not miss out on that. In the afternoon, we do more of remediation. We do more of music and art type programs, but it really helps our students. Now, it's not scientific yet, but our 1st and 2nd grade teachers are telling us that those students who have been through that full day program are doing exceptionally well. And we'll be able to test this as we go through I-STEP testing when those children get into the 2nd and 3rd grade, and we have more than one group of students to consider. So it's really a special program. It's going very well. Both of our K-4 elementary buildings, Pine Ridge and Ferdinand Elementary, are participating. And with 98% of our students enrolled in the full-day kindergarten, you can see that our parents think that it's important as well.
Mm-hmm. It certainly sounds like the testing will probably be fantastic too, with just the training of the kids up through there.
Well, you know, one of the things that you look for success of a student in any school situation, Paul, is that the parents are supportive of education. They send their children to school ready to learn, and then that you have a very good staff, and then you have an administration that supports that staff. And that's something that we have, and I think the full-day kindergarten will simply augment our current programs and make that even better for our children.
Well, you know, starting with preschool, the parents are involved, and they probably stay more involved throughout the school.
Yes.
Through their kids' school education.
That's exactly right, and it just starts them a little bit earlier.
Very good. Then what about technology?
Well, Paul, we're extremely proud of the technology that we have in our school system. Southeast Dubois has placed, our school board decided several years ago that we're going to place great emphasis on technology. We understand that as our children leave our school, if they go to college to further their education, they need to have the skills in technology. If they're going from our school into the workforce or into the military, they have to have technology skills. So we have placed this as a priority. Right now, Paul, we have 750 computers in our school system, and we have 1,380 students. So we're exceeded that one computer for every 2 students. And we don't have a lot of really old equipment. The oldest computers in our buildings are 5 years old. So that's really important. We have a technology committee that builds curriculum of technology, and this starts in our elementary. And we have second graders that are on the net, and we have second and third graders that are building web pages. And just being introduced to those things that probably, Paul, you and I were not familiar with, or we had some apprehension about technology. As our students go through this, they have absolutely no apprehension at all. They jump right in and they're learning. We have in our elementary schools, every classroom has a document camera, and it also has an overhead projector. We can focus in, the teacher can focus in on a textbook, maybe a particular map or graph, and put that under the document camera. It can be projected by the ceiling-mounted projector onto the screen, and it just works wonderfully. Now, we are trying to expand that into our high school. Our high school has just been completely wired, so they have projectors and or televisions that they're using for that same purpose. We have satellite at the high school this summer. We have satellite capability for channels, and we also have cable. So if there's some very interesting program that's going to augment what is happening in United States history, that's on the battle of the Civil War, and it's on the History Channel, well, they can show that. They can either tape it and show it, or cover those as live as they're being presented. So that's important. But maybe one of the things that is of most important is that we have just completed this summer a fiber network between all of our buildings. And the fiber network, we have nearly unlimited bandwidth. And so our buildings are all in communication with one another. We're tied to one another. There are very few school corporations in the state of Indiana that are totally networked by fiber, and we're proud to be one of those.
I tell you, our time is just about up, but let's not leave without talking about football.
We're going to start varsity football at Forest Park this year, and I know the community is really excited about it. Our coaches are excited. The student athletes are really excited. But this is something that we have always been very competitive in our school district, and our fans, our patrons support all of our athletic programs, and I'm sure that if you come out on a Friday night in Ferdinand, Indiana, you'll see some excitement in our new varsity football program that will begin.
Bob, we look forward to some great football.
We certainly do. Thank you.
Bob Johnson, Superintendent of the Southeast Dubois School Board Corporation, we wish you a very successful year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Welcome at this time to 27 Topics, Jerrill Vandeventer, Superintendent of the Greater Jasper School Corporation. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Paul.
It is a pleasure to have you here again. The time flies. It seems like you were just here. But there's been a year, and there's been a lot happening in that year. And so tell us a little bit about the summer curriculum that you've had.
Well, you know, as you mentioned, it is amazing that the summer seems to go so much more quickly each year, and it's time for us to start again for the fall. Prior to talking about some things that reminders for the fall session, I would simply like to mention that we had a very successful summer school this summer. We had completed another session. Approximately 300 students in the elementary and the Jasper middle schools were able to participate in 2 weeks of math camp and 2 weeks of reading camp. And then, and the purpose was to provide them with some extensive review skills that will hopefully help them to start this new year. And we had about 86 students at Jasper High School that continued to take advantage of those courses that are offered: physical education, Algebra 1, English 9, 10, and 11. So even though regular school session has not been in operation over the summer, there has been a lot of learning that's taken place and gone on over those summer months. One other additional thing I would like to mention to the folks, that over the summer in the month of June, our administrative staff, along with our counselors, some nurses, secretarial staff, had the opportunity in June to participate in a very successful and motivational program called the Covey Training Program. And this is nothing more than a program that provides people with motivational and operational skills that will help them balance the many tasks that we deal with in our personal lives and our work lives, and just try to have a happy balance. The program is called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, and that was provided to us. We had this opportunity as a result of Jasper Engines providing that training for us, and we feel very fortunate and we're very lucky to have been a part of that. So we're extremely pleased that that was another successful program for the summer.
You know, it's really interesting, like Jasper Engine and many of the other industries and businesses in the area, how they supply these things and do these kind of things for the school.
We're extremely fortunate in this community for many, many reasons, and have so many things to be thankful for. And those businesses, those partnerships that our school corporation has with so many businesses in this community is just one of those things that we're very pleased to have.
It's great. Then I guess we're ready to start talking about the new school year.
Well, exactly. Our registration for our elementary schools is completed. It was completed last week. In the event that you would have a child that missed that, you simply need to contact the respective school and get that taken care of. Registration at Jasper High School is occurring today, Monday the 11th. The time on that is from 7:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. And then again on Tuesday the 12th, it will occur from 9 until 6 p.m. Jasper Middle School also is on Tuesday the 12th from 9 to 6 p.m. So I encourage students to get there, get to the schools as quickly as they possibly can, and get those registration materials ready to go, because school is going to start August the 14th, Thursday the 14th is our first day for our staff in-service day, and that will begin at the Jasper High School cafeteria at 7:30 on the 14th, where our staff will be present. We'll have a reception in the morning, move then to the auditorium at 8 a.m. for some topics that will be relevant for the start of the year. And then about 10:30, our staff will be dismissed to their respective buildings for meetings and preparation for the next day. The following day, August the 15th, is our first full day for students. And it is a full day that will begin at 8 a.m. There's an 8 a.m. start until 3 p.m., so it is a full day. So school is going to officially start.
It's started. So how should students prepare for school?
Well, you know, Paul, those first few days, it's always kind of hectic, because it takes students a while to adjust to getting up and being on time and meeting schedules that they've maybe not have been used to doing on a daily basis throughout the summer. It's also an adjustment for parents as well. And in the cases where we have students that are transitioning from one building to the next, maybe from one elementary to another, or the elementaries to the middle school, or the middle school to the high school, it takes some time. So there's going to be a need for some patience on the part of a lot of people, and in order to get the school year started, and usually it takes about a week or so, and then things begin to smooth out and run a little more smoothly for everyone.
Then we talked about the students. How should mom and dad be involved?
You know, there are so many things that, as parents, that we can do to, I think, make the transition back into school for our kids so helpful. And you know, there's just to name a few, I think one of the most important things is to know who your classroom teachers are for your students, and communicate with those people. And I encourage parents to do that. They have the opportunity to communicate by mail, by email, through the phone, or conferences, phone conferences as well as office conferences. Our teachers are very, very supportive and will provide that assistance that's necessary. So I believe it's necessary that parents know who those teachers are and contact the principals if there's a problem, and communicate with those teachers, and provide encouragement for your kids to study. I don't know that there's anything more beneficial than maybe setting aside a designated place and a designated time for study and completion of homework in the evening, and encourage them to do that. Parents can also join the PTOs. There are PTOs that represent each of our elementary schools, our middle schools, and our high schools. So I think joining there and being a part of programs, our PTOs are so effective in supporting our principals and our teachers, and so we encourage all parents to become a part of that. And attend as many school functions as you possibly can, whether it's conferences, teacher conferences, extracurricular activities. Probably isn't anything that makes students feel better than to be able to look up and see their parents in attendance at activities, as well as grandparents if they're available. And I also encourage parents to ask their kids about what's happening at school. And I know from my own experience, a lot of times when I'd ask my children that, one of their first responses, "Oh, nothing's going on." Well, there are things going on. So you have to make sure that you make them talk about those things that are happening, and we're so fortunate in our community to have the parental support that we have. Encourage your child to attend and be a part of as many extracurricular activities as possible. It's unbelievable, the number of sports and fine arts and clubs and band and music and all types of activities that our school corporation offers. And I think that the education of a child goes far beyond just what occurs in that classroom, and as much time as they can spend with other kids in those types of activities, it simply benefits their education.
Very good. And also, we have to deal with testing
We do, and it seems as though we have to deal with testing more and more each year than the previous, and this year is no exception. In the past, our students have dealt with the I-STEP test in the fall, and they're going to do that this year as well as be tested in the spring. So they're going to get a double dose this year, and then after the 08-09 school year, it will become a fall test only, and that is a result of the state making the decision to move that test to the spring rather than the fall. And I simply say that parents can get involved in that from making sure those kids understand the importance of the I-STEP test and of any test that they take, and encouraging them to make sure that they study. They are prepared for that. Nothing short of preparing them a good breakfast in the morning and sending them off. We do that every day, but I think it's extremely important that we do that whenever we have a major test coming for them. The schools will send out notification of those specific dates, and so everyone will know. But this year, I-STEP test in the fall as well as in the spring. Also, just know about major homework assignments. Know about test dates that occur daily or weekly in their regular scheduled classes. And I just think being informed of what your child is involved with is extremely important.
You have just time for a closing comment.
Well, very quickly, if I could share with you, a year ago, our corporation established a vision team. And very simply, our vision team was comprised of a large number of stakeholders. It included teachers and students and parents, administrators, board members, community members, representatives of every student population within our building or in our corporation. And the purpose behind that was for us to conduct meetings and to examine whether or not our corporation was doing the things that are necessary to provide the best possible education for every child in our corporation. So we've had numerous meetings. We have looked at our academic successes. We're looking at some demographics. And from all of that, we have comprised a list of beliefs that we believe that our school corporation could be providing, and condensed those to the point where we have come up with a mission statement that we think best represents those core values, and that mission statement is learning for life. So as we move into this school year, we will be continuing with those vision team meetings. As a matter of fact, the first one is August the 27th. It's at Jasper High School Community Room. It begins at 6 o'clock and runs until 7:30. And although there are designated members of that team, we welcome anyone who would like to be a part of that. And if you are affiliated with any one particular school, you have a child in any particular place, simply contact the principal and let them know that you would be interested in being a part of that. And we welcome the input from all stakeholders.
Jerrill Vandeventer, Superintendent of the Greater Jasper School Corporation, thank you for being our guest today, and have a successful year.
Thank you very much.